I've said repeatedly that I will do whatever it takes to ensure that the West considers itself an equal partner in Confederation, up to and including constitutional changes if required. You're right. Alberta, for one, and BC are both underrepresented in the House of Commons. The entire West is underrepresented in the Senate. The seats are not updated quickly enough. Alberta would have about 4 or 5 more seats right now if their population, their ratio, the MP to population ratio was the same as Ontario, for example. You guys have about 1 MP for 129,000 people, whereas Ontario has 1 MP for 111,000 people. So you can see it's out of whack. BC, of course, is higher than Ontario as well. So I think that we need to take a look at that immediately. We need to propose potentially some constitutional amendments to deal with other issues. But I've been 100% behind the West. We obviously need to get some pipelines built ASAP. We need to get rid of the, Bill C-69, Bill C-48. I'm the only candidate that says, let's get out of the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement has as its goal net zero emissions at the second half of the century. So what that means for the other 3 candidates who have not committed to getting out of Paris, that means that we have an aspirational goal of shutting down our energy industry. So there is no way that we can do the West right by being in the Paris Agreement.
And, beyond raising the seat count, we know you've been looking at the Fair Deal panel and their suggestions in Alberta. Would you, as Prime Minister, exchange tax points with Alberta, let them do more things autonomously, or really any other province?
Yeah, I support all the provincial autonomy issues that have been raised and spoken of in that panel. So yes, I would certainly support that. And I'll just quickly, I see Rick is asking a question here, saying equal representation has been tried before without success. What can we do differently? Constitutional change is always a huge problem, especially in Quebec. Yes, it is. And, personally, I think there's always things that you can offer to different provinces to get, the buy-in. And remember, Quebec, of course, didn't buy into the last constitutional convention. But at the very least, Rick, I believe that we can get the recalculation of seats done more frequently, which would certainly benefit Alberta and BC because their population is typically growing at a rate that by the time you barely finish rebalancing the seats, and then you're behind already. So I think we need to do that more frequently, and I think at the very least that would help with the representation issues.